going to be going over the task Explore Plate Tectonics in the process of erosion folder. Since that comes after Engage, so if you haven't done Engage, make sure you complete the Engage assignment. It has some key vocabulary terms that you'll need to know in order to complete this. So in this task, you will, number one, you'll read the text below. Read one section at a time, okay? This is a section. That is a section, all right? It's a passage. It has a header, then it has about 2 to 3 sentences, okay? The header is going to give you some clue as to what the main idea is, okay? So what is erosion? This is obviously going to answer what erosion is. What is erosion? And the word erosion is also available on the Engage, okay? So you're going to write down the main idea for each passage in your ELA notebook. You're going to watch this video if you want to hear me read the passages and also go over this assignment. So that's number 2. Third one is read the text for a second time. So that means 2 times you'll be reading it, right? And write down unfamiliar terms. So you're going to write down all these terms that maybe were not defined in the Engage assignment so that you can define them using vocabulary.com. Then you're going to read the passage again. So that's going to be 3 reads by this point. And write down any important key details. And then you're going to, in number 6, once you have all those notes taken, you'll be able to answer the question, what is erosion? You need to post the answer in the assignment submission typed, no photos. So just type the answers and make sure that you rephrase the question as a statement. Erosion is, and then explain what it is to me. No less than 3 sentences. You need a pose, you need to clarify, and you need a fortification statement. Use the Hawk Talk cards to do that, please. We're going to start the reading process. Follow along with me as I read. Erosion. What is erosion? Erosion is the wearing away of the land by forces such as water, wind, and ice. Erosion has helped to form many interesting features on the Earth's surface, including mountain peaks, valleys, and coastlines. What causes erosion? There are many different forces in nature that cause erosion. Depending on the type of force, erosion can happen quickly or take thousands of years. The 3 main forces that cause erosion are water, wind, and ice. Erosion by water. Water is the main cause of erosion on Earth. Although water may not seem powerful at first, it is one of the most powerful forces on the planet. Here are some of the ways that water causes erosion. Rainfall. Rainfall can cause erosion both when the rain hits the surface on the Earth, called splash erosion, and when raindrops accumulate and flow like small streams. Rivers. Rivers can create a significant amount of erosion over time. They break up particles along the river bottom and carry them downstream. One example of river erosion is the Grand Canyon, which was formed by the Colorado River. Waves. Ocean waves can cause the coastline to erode. The sheer energy and force of the waves causes pieces of rock and coastline to break off, changing the coastline over time. Let's take a look at that. So you can see there's a lot of different places where the Earth is touched by waves and water. And interestingly, there's a lot of wear and tear around the coastlines of our continent. They're not perfectly round shaped. Floods. Large floods can cause erosion to happen very quickly, acting like powerful rivers. Erosion by wind. Wind is a major type of erosion, especially in dry areas. Wind can erode by picking up and carrying loose particles and dust away, called deflation. It can also erode when these flying particles strike the land and break off more particles, called abrasion. Erosion by glaciers. Glaciers are giant rivers of ice that slowly move, carving out valleys and shaping mountains. You can go here to learn more about glaciers. If you want to learn more about glaciers, go ahead and click this link. Otherwise, continue to follow along. If you're going to click the link here, pause so that I can stop my reading. You can stop listening and you can go and see more about glaciers. Other forces. Living organisms, small animals, insects, and worms can add to erosion by breaking up the soil so it's easier for the wind and water to carry away. A thing that used to do this a lot where I lived in Hawaii was things called crayfish. They would burrow into the sides of the riverbanks and make their homes there. And then when the river would flow, it would make it extremely easy for the dirt to just break apart because the animals had already buried themselves into it, creating weak spots in the dirt. Gravity. The force of gravity can cause erosion by pulling rocks and other particles down the side of a mountain or cliff. Gravity can cause landslides, which can significantly erode an area. Temperature. Changes in temperature caused by the sun heating up a rock can cause the rock to expand and crack. This can cause pieces to break off over time and lead to erosion. How have humans caused erosion? Human activity has increased the rate of erosion in many areas. This happens through farming, ranching, cutting down forests, and the building of roads and cities. Human activity has caused about 1 million acres of topsoil to erode each year. Erosion control. There are things that can be done to limit the amount of erosion caused by human activity. This includes planting trees around farmland to protect from the wind, moving herds around so that grasslands will grow back, and planting new trees to replace the ones cut down. Interesting facts about erosion. The word erosion comes from the Latin word erosionum, which means a gnawing away. Scientists estimate that the Colorado River had been eroding the Grand Canyon for many millions of years. Wind erosion can cause huge dust storms. The fastest glacier ever moved over 7 miles in 3 months. Fossils in sedimentary rocks are often uncovered by erosion. Now that you've gone through and heard me read it once, I need you to go through and complete the tasks as follows. Remember, you're going to have to either